Hey folks, Coin Emerald here. This is the second video in a series of videos about my experience with the games I stream. In this instance, I stream two games, Milk Inside a Bag of Milk and its sequel, Milk Outside a Bag of Milk. I was gifted both games by my close friend Monoxide, and she highly recommended them for stream. They are very thought-provoking psychological horror games, and are styled as an interactive story. As always, the footage captured in this video will be that of my own footage from the stream VOD. This game was very disturbing and unsettling. The horror isn't achieved through jump scares or fear of one's life, but more so grounded in the uncanny and surreal. I did stream this game late at night, so that probably didn't help with the feeling of surrealness, but the story starts from a simple premise and then develops into a twisting labyrinth of many questions. Whilst playing through the game, it becomes very apparent that the character is deeply psychologically traumatized from an unknown event that seems to be linked to her father's death and her mother's abuse towards her. I'm not really a psychologist, but it can be assumed that the character has some deeply rooted emotional problems. The environment the game is set in is hard to decipher as well. Though some areas are easy to recognize and interpret what they are, it seems as if the world around the main character is some sort of nightmare. In this nightmarish world, depicted from the main character's point of view, you are not just an observer, but rather, you play the role of a disembodied voice in her head, a hallucination most likely. You can choose to be neutral, friendly, or even cruel towards her. I personally chose to be friendly, since I found myself feeling bad for her. I really like how the developers managed to capture the feeling of detachment. This was done using pacing that feels sporadic, resulting in the player being unsure how much time has passed between each interaction, and the use of colors that feel hostile to the player. The character designs within the world really make the character seem isolated, as she is the only normal-looking person within the game, whilst almost everyone else in the game encountered seem non-human or even appear to look like monsters. Speaking of sounds, the soundtrack even gives off an eerie surrealness to the world, and the harsh tones complement this unnerving environment. Some moments the game is quiet and almost peaceful, and in an instant, it can become an orchestra of noise and visual stimulation, which can be overwhelming not only for the player, but visibly for the character as well. Alright, I meet a familiar, formless creature at the door. I don't know, Monoxide told me to play it. It locks me in its clutches and starts sniffing every inch of my body like a hungry dog. I'm not struggling. I know it's useless. I just stay silent and endure its tight grip that stops me from moving. The main character of the story was very well written, and I feel she wasn't very easy to read. What I mean by this is that she comes across one way, and then throughout the game, she reveals many layers of herself, and if the player is willing, they can explore the room of the character and reveal some hidden backstory. Nothing is explained outright, but the visuals and dialogue between the voice and the character seem to be that of repressed trauma. Gameplay-wise, it was very simplistic, as the game is a visual novel. The only control the player has is to choose from a limited amount of dialogue. This can lead to different encounters and events happening within the game's story, and reveal different endings in the sequel. There were also some point-and-click mechanics when the player is examining the character's room and going through her belongings. It also reminds me of the old I Spy games from way back in the day. This game was out of my way in terms of games I play, and I pride myself on playing many different types of games, but one game I rarely play through are visual novel style games. After playing this one, I can say that I'm inclined to try some more horror visual novels out. I would highly recommend this game to folks who are into writing or just pure good psychological horror from indie devs. I would not recommend this game, though, to folks dealing with severe mental health issues if they find this sort of thing could be triggering for them. I would say this game is a definite must-play. I would say to get it on sale or buy it as it is, given the price is perfect for what is in the game. Thank you for watching my video. I hope I explained things well enough. It can be a bit difficult with games like this because there's so much up for interpretation and examination that one video I don't think could cover the amount of content and layers that are present in this game. Until next time, though, be safe, take it easy, and this is Quiet Emerald. See you next time, folks.